As an artist or a creative, is it important to experiment? In today's video, we're going to go over a few reasons why I'd like to think that it is important to experiment. This particular project you see me working on is an experiment. I'm using an old Easter egg and trying to make it into something else. Number one reason why I like to think that experimenting is important is because it's fun. And don't get me wrong, there has been some not so fun times with experimenting, but in general, I tend to enjoy the whole process. Do you have any guesses on what this could be? A second reason why I think experimenting is important is because it feeds our creative minds. So now we have a cauldron out of an Easter egg. Who knew? So all of my experiments, I consider them like a first draft, a rough draft. It's not going to be its final form unless I nail it the first time. And I would love to dream that, yes, I nail it the first time. No, that doesn't always happen. But getting back to number two, how it feeds our creative cup, so to speak. It keeps our creative minds fed. I think that's very important to keep our passion about what we love to do, is to keep feeding that passion. Yes, I'm a doll maker, but I don't just only needle felt. I dabble in several things, and actually many of us creatives do. Doing such things helps keep my creative cup full. In truth, all my new skills that I do learn or try, it all still revolves back to my doll making. But yeah, it's always about them, huh? Here I am doing a blanket stitch, which is a very handy stitch, simple stitch to learn, and I think everybody should have it in their pocket for their tools, their tool pocket, I guess, or something like that. Okay, let's get back on track. Back to number three. Why is it important to experiment? Number three, to why you should experiment, is that it could help you stay relevant if you are selling your work. There are a few things that kind of stand the test of time or trends. However, things do kind of fade in and fade out, and you want to keep your style of work relevant, right? And by trying new techniques and experimenting, can help you add extra oomph and flair or whatever it is that you need to take your work to another level. I don't mean that your work will become unrecognizable, but you just have more tools and things to polish off your work. So I say try that new thing, learn that new skill. I think it could only help. I want to give a big thanks to Gwen, who is one of my good friends and a fabulous felter, for giving the idea of how about roasting marshmallows. Thank you. And a good thing to bring into your experimenting minds is to think about everyday life, like roasting marshmallows or carving a pumpkin. I mean, we are at that spooky season, so there's tons of activities that you do every day that you can incorporate into your work. I also think that people really flock to that if they can relate to whatever it is that's in front of them, because it's something that they have or do or cherish in their lives. So this is a perfect example why experiments are your first drafts. I believe I should have glued this before I painted. Gotta try again. All right, we have been talking about why is it important to experiment. Number 1, it's fun. Number 2, it keeps your creative cup full. Number 3, it can also keep your work relevant. Well, we're about ready to dive into number 4, so here we go. And number 4, it gives you great problem solving skills. It truly does. The more you try to tinker with things and figure them out and how they're going to work, the faster you're able to solve any little mishaps that come along. And overall, I think these qualities can make you a well-rounded artist, creative person. And it's just fun. Just get a look of these two having a great old time just roasting marshmallows. That's simple. If you're a creative soul and love dolls and needle felting and making things and all that fun stuff, please subscribe and I'll see you next time.